The telegram came on January 25th, my birthday. My mom was feeling poorly. Baby number 6, born when she was 45 years old, had left her exhausted and depleted. And that Saturday morning she'd asked me to do a little cleanup in our front garden, a rather grand word for the coal-dusted square of weeds that separated our semi-detached house from the road. So I was tugging away at some soot-covered dandelions when the postman walked through the front gate holding a telltale manila envelope. My heart leaped into my mouth. I knew the drill because I had already been turned down by Oxford. Rejections came by regular post. Why waste money on students you're turning down? Acceptances came by telegram. Hands trembling, I grabbed the envelope, ripped it open, and read the magic words. Offering place at Girton College, Cambridge University. Full scholarship. Letter following. Congratulations. I let out a piercing shriek, grabbed the amazed postman by the hand, and did a kind of furious stomping dance on the patch of dirt I'd just been digging. Hearing the ruckus, 3 of my sisters ran out of the house. It took them a moment to figure out what was happening, but a grubby fist waving a manila telegram told the story, and they joined in with gusto. I don't remember a happier day. I knew Cambridge would transform my life chances. But how exactly did I get into one of the best universities in Europe? Even at the time, I realized that I didn't do this on my own. Sure, I took some of the credit. I had, after all, done an enormous amount of work, but I owed much to others. My dad was first on my list. Miss Gwen Jones was second. But I also was dimly aware of the contributions of Sally Alexander, a student activist who led the fight for equal access to education for British women, and Barbara Castle, a minister in the Labour government who was spearheading new legislation on equal pay and equal opportunity. I didn't quite appreciate it at the time, but without these larger shifts in social attitudes and political priorities, I would not have gotten in. Oxbridge admissions committees were newly in the business of leaning over backward to see potential in candidates like me. My years at Cambridge were almost as magical as my father promised. Despite some tough stuff on the social front, my accent and general lack of polish made it extremely difficult to fit into the upper-class student scene. By the middle of my first year, I was under the wing of a remarkable woman who loved my spunk and determination and went to bat on my behalf. Dr. Jean Grove was a high-profile academic economist and my supervisor at Girton. Her support was transformative. A mere 6 months into my time at Cambridge, she chose me as her research assistant and invited me to accompany her on a summer research trip to Africa. She not only invited me to go, she made sure I could afford to take her up on the offer. My family was not in a position to bankroll a trip to Africa. That spring, she sat down with me and painstakingly helped me apply for a foundation grant, and then wrote the pivotal recommendation that ensured I got it. Ghana was an extraordinary experience. We spent 6 weeks working with the Ewe tribe in the Volta Delta, collecting agricultural data, crop yields, planting cycles, and so on. By the end of the summer, we'd accumulated enough evidence to demonstrate that the Ewe had developed a sustainable and highly productive type of intensive agriculture. They'd done this on their own using indigenous rather than imported methods and materials. It was a breakthrough finding. My research assistantship in Ghana had huge payoffs for me. It fueled a lifelong interest in economic development and led to a co-authored article with Jean Grove that lifted my confidence and greatly improved my prospects for graduate school. 2 years later, I won a spot at Harvard University and a Kennedy Scholarship. Post-Harvard and post-London University, where I earned my PhD, I landed a sought-after first job as assistant professor of economics at Barnard College, Columbia University, and began to forge what should have been a promising career in academe. I wish I could say it was smooth sailing. It was not. I made the classic female mistake. I thought that it was all about doing my job extraordinarily well. If I put my head down and worked as hard as I knew how, my value to the organization would be self-evident, and of course, I would be recognized and promoted. In retrospect, I could kick myself. Why didn't I understand that at these beginning stages of a serious and super competitive career, I needed a sponsor more than ever? Someone with power who believed in me and was prepared to propel and protect me as I set about climbing